Biden has warned there could be challenges for U.S. companies and U.S. farmers if Russia invades Ukraine. Nicole Killian continues our coverage from the White House. Nicole, tell us about these alerts that have gone out here at home.
Nancy, the Biden administration has already put U.S. companies on notice about the potential for an increase in Russian cyber attacks. The administration has encouraged businesses to beef up their cyber defenses, particularly those that handle critical infrastructure like power and water systems. It has also circulated guidance about how to identify a foreign influence operation. Treasury officials recently met with the CEOs of several big banks to discuss potential cyber risk. The Agriculture Secretary said U.S. farmers may have to step up if Ukraine's exports are cut off. The country is a global supplier of wheat, so farmers here may have to boost production. And the president has warned of the potential impact on energy prices.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, in the 37th verse, and it reads, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." Before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, and a hearty shalom to the sincere brethren doing the work in truth and sincerity all around the globe, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. Shalom, shalom. So just wanted to do a lesson going into these cyber attacks. So right now, President Joe Biden, basically briefed, people who are, on his staff, major companies, so on and so forth, to prepare, and brace yourself for a cyber attack. And what happened in the Ukraine is literally several websites went down, the government website, so on and so forth. So we'll play another video and we'll go into a few other pieces of information and we'll grab a few scriptures and then wrap on up. But let's play this real quick.
We now have a warning coming out of New York City. They are stating that they are preparing for a potential cyber attack to hit coming from Russia, of all places. This is what they're saying here on this world stage. And that it's going to be in response to these sanctions that took place here recently against Russia from the United States over everything happening in Ukraine. So in terms of cyber activity, there's always a lot going on. You really can't lean on some of these other sites to tell you exactly what's going on in these instances, because these governments are operating in stealth mode and they could turn the lights out in a city quick. That's my biggest fear. It's at the top of the list. It always has.
And, we want these things to happen because the quicker they bring in and usher in the cyber attacks, the EMP attacks, so on and so forth, take down the electrical grid, blackouts, so on and so forth, regional blackouts, the quicker they're going to introduce the MOTB. And that's what these cyber attacks are all about. Is implementing a fourth industrial revolution and a great reset. And last year you had 2 cyber attacks that hit, Babylon the Great. One as far as the gas supply, and you had people acting like straight baboons, man. You had people acting like straight savages, man. People fighting at the gas station, beating each other up. Then you had a cyber attack on the meat supply. And then you had meat prices jump through the roof. certain areas of the country, they were selling packs of steaks for $100. You know, $150 and whatnot, man. But let's go into this article real quick. And it reads, massive cyber attack underway, Ukraine reports. Kiev says financial institutions and government departments have been taken down. Key word, financial institutions. That's what this is all about. Implementing in the MOTB and the digital structure. And it reads, government websites and banks in Ukraine have been hit by outages as part of a reported cyber attack against the country's digital infrastructure, financial institutions, against the country's digital infrastructure, with officials in Kiev saying it is a major attempt by hackers to take down online platforms. Interesting, right? Well, what do you have happen in July? You had the World Economic Forum hold a conference with all the wicked elite, the same people who are behind the Davos agenda, to stage, or better yet, or, to have a exercise, better yet, about a cyber attack that would affect supply chains. And what do you have happening right now? Cyber attacks, threats of cyber attacks. Let's go to Isaiah, the 60th chapter, and it reads, arise, shine, for thy light is come, this truth, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is risen upon thee. Because when you have, it's a light in gross darkness. It's able to take away all the bullshit. You're able to see through it and call on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for this truth. This is Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. And as they start the vibration of cyber attacks, warning people, so on and so forth, they're going to implement cyber attacks. And you're going to have certain parts of the country in gross darkness as far as the blackout. That's been talked about, by brothers in the truth, truthers, so on and so forth, because people in the government have been briefed on these things. Isaiah 60:2 again. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. And you have people being in gross darkness right now, not having this light, not having this truth. But Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. A city on a hill cannot be hid, roughly paraphrasing. This is 2 Ezra 16:37 again, and it reads, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And what do you have happen in Canada? Well, you had martial law. And as of today, Trudeau, he reneged in the form of pulling back the Emergency Powers Act. He only implemented it for 10 days. All he has to do is sign it back into effect, man. That was just a test drive, of the emergency broadcast system out there. And once things get to the next level, as far as where Esau, when he wants to bring the pain, he's going to implement those type of same drastic measures that were taken in Canada on a worldwide scale. And you're starting to see, a lot of what's going on in Canada, Australia, different places of the world where, it's like a social credit system society like China. Well, they're starting to do some of those things in Babylon the Great, right underneath, right underneath people's noses, man. You have people saying that, people who are speaking misinformation, disinformation, they need to be locked up. Yeah, President Joe Biden basically saying the same thing. This is 2nd Ezra 16:38. And when a woman, as Slakia, I'm going to get 37. 2nd Ezra 16:37, and it reads, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." And, Jacob's trouble is nearing to crack down the door. It's getting nearer and nearer. This truth has reached it's reached the gates of the nobles, man. And that's why, the president of YouTube said what she said. That's why Joe Biden said what he said. That's why all these videos are getting taken down. Because these devils are hurt, man. 2nd Ezra 16:39, and it reads, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth." What plagues? Well, the sword, famine, death, destruction, martial law. People starving, famines, people not having regards for their kings and princes. Yeah, people going and taking to the streets in Kazakhstan, beating up the police, man. Literally, there's a video that I seen of them just laying out the police, man. Hitting them with rocks upside the head. A few police were sprawled out dead in the ground. You have people resulting to cannibalism in certain parts of the world, like Haiti. And cannibalism is going to come back when people aren't able to feed their families, man. And of course, you have the spirit of war in the air. At the same time, while the spirit of war is in the air, you have the vibration of cyber attacks, EMP attacks, all at the same time. 2nd Ezra 16:39, and it reads, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, the MOTB, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows, Slakia, shall come upon it on every side." That reminds me of Amos the 5th chapter, Amos 5:18, right to the point. And it reads, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?" Because if you're not of the elect, then it's not going to be a pretty sight. "The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand upon the wall, and a serpent bit him." So you're going to have people, running from the Gerber troops, or running from, the UN peacekeeping troops. And they're already in Canada, by the way. They're going to be getting chased, by the troops, the peacekeeping troops, the Gerber troops. And they think they're going to be good. They're going to go into a house and hide. And you're going to have a whole bunch of cannibals in that house, man. And you think you're good. You get out of that. get away from the lions, but one of them eats, two of your kids, and then a robotic mechanical dog is there to greet you, man. That's what's going to be happening in Jacob's trouble, man, to people who aren't of the elect. And these cyber attacks, EMP attacks, they're all, the beginning stages, as well as them pointing the finger at the prophets of Jacob's trouble, because when these plagues hit Babylon the Great in the form of cyber attacks on the meat supply, on the gas supply, on, the electrical grid, so on and so forth, electricity, then you're going to have people going bananas, man. And you're going to have people not caring, man. And there's going to be mass chaos. And in that mass chaos, you're going to have people saying, we need order. And you're going to have Esau Edom with the solution right there for you, man. The new world order, man, which he won't be able to fulfill in its totality. Yahweh Bashem Yahshai disappoints the devices of the crafty so that their hands could not perform their enterprise. This is Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, in the first verse, and it reads, again, the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, to the Israelites, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, and who has the sword? Whose blessing was the sword? Esau. And that's who's going to be bringing down the hammer, man. In Jacob's trouble, it's going to be Esau, man. Ezekiel 33:2, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, and that's our duty as watchmen, is to watch, to give warning, so the blood's off our hands. And so you hear the report, and we're supposed to speak these words whether they will hear or forbear. This is Ezekiel 33:3, and it reads, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth the trumpet and warn the people. And that's what we're doing. We're warning you, that a storm is coming. We're warning you that the sword, famine, death, and destruction is coming. Let's get 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Every single one of these prophecies in the scriptures is going to hit. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So we don't care, how hard-headed you are. We're hard-headed ourselves. You got a hard head, we got harder heads. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You're going to die in your stupidity, man. We know the end game for you non-believers, man. 2 Ezra 15:5, and it reads, Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, which is literally right around the corner. Ezekiel 33:4, Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. So if you don't take heed to these words that we're speaking, which is the words of the king, where the word of a king is, there's power, then your blood's going to be upon your own hands and your own head. Ezekiel 33:5, here he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So we have to give you warning. This is the final precept. And Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah, this lesson was edifying and informative. This is Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing. And this word is concealed to the non-believers, you know? Wisdom is too high for a fool. It's a privilege to be able to understand this word, dissect it, break it down, you know, receive it, and believe. Proverbs 25:2, it is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing. What things? The mysteries, you know, the parables, the dark sayings of the scriptures, you know, the true understanding of the MOTB, you know, the true understanding of end time prophecies, where we are as far as, you know, in the line of prophecy, you know, which is coming into Jacob's trouble. It's literally right around the corner, about to bust the door down, man. This is Proverbs 25:2, again from the top. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. And that's what we do. We search out, you know, the deep, dark sayings of the scriptures. We search out by going on, you know, the news, looking at articles, looking at what's going on in the world, so we can edify and build up the believers, man, and to give warning and to give comfort as well. This is the word search out in the Hebrew, and it's Strong's H2713.
Strong's H2713. Chaker.
Hakwar. And it goes into to penetrate, because that's what we're also doing. By searching out matters, we're penetrating the walls of Esau, Edom's kingdom, man. You know? Every single lesson that goes out, a brick comes off of, you know, off of his wall, and simultaneously another brick gets added to the house of David to examine, find out, search out, seek. Search, seek, find out, seek, to investigate, to search for, search out, examine. To be searched out, to be found out, be examined. And that's what we're doing. We're examining the scriptures, examining what's going on in the news, so we can edify, you know, and give warning. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to cover what was going on with these cyber attacks. And, you know, this exercise that was done back in July by the World Economic Forum called Cyber Polygon. And it was a simulation of cyber attacks and supply chain attacks. And as you have the vibration of cyber attack, all in the news. Let's get 2 Corinthians 2:11. And it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Deceptions, you know, deception, Slakia, better yet, lies, witchcraft, sorcery, pharmakia, you know, all wiles of the devil. But Don't have any more points. Once again, Adon Rathazah, Yahweh Rathazah. The lesson was edifying and informative. And in closing, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto the head apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom, to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. A hearty Shalom to the servants of prophets, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahshai, teaching and preaching in truth and sincerity, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. And last but not least, a hearty Shalom to the men of valor and DTA camps. First camps I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, keep not silence, and give him no rest day or night, till Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So once again, Lord's will you were edified. And until next time, next live stream, next camp, next lesson, Shalom, DTA, Wah, Ba, Ba, Ba.